Hi folks, I've been having some discussions as of late. Realized that not everyone knows certain things that I thought everyone knew that would get you in trouble. So for everyone's good, I'm gonna touch base on some of those things, and it can hopefully perhaps keep you from running afoul of any from running afoul, let's just say. Well, I'd mentioned in another video that Craigslist was a good tool, but you had to be careful. There was a couple just down here in Georgia that was killed when they went to buy something off of Craigslist. So just remember, you don't know these people, even though they sound nice. When you call about the amazing bargain on something that you wanted to buy, they sound nice, and you go there and they know you have cash in your pocket to buy that item. So use a bit of caution, meet in a public place. Another thing, Meetup. Meetup is a very good tool. For those of you who don't know about it, it's a website where you can take any interest that you have and find a group that has basically a club for whatever, preppers, pottery, or astronomy, whatever you want. That's great. Understand that you join the meetup group and you go to these meetings once a month or so. That's your only exposure to these folks, and we tend to trust people. We tend to want to think that all people are basically good. You have not vetted these people. It's fine to go to these meetings, to enjoy yourself, to get involved, to share something of yourself, and to learn about these folks. But you want to keep everything in order as far as giving out your particular information, and for bringing these people closer when you haven't fully vetted them. If you meet people in these groups that you're interested in and you want to take it to the next level, start to meet for coffee out in the Waffle House or whatever. But you need to know someone quite a long time before you let them know where you live, and before, especially in the prepper arena. And remember, if you are bringing someone into a prepper group, your prepper group, it's easy to bring people in. It's not so easy to kick people out. And once you've kicked someone out, they already have all your particulars. So you've created an enemy. As you go and meet different preppers, do different prepper things, first off, the P word. If you have told anyone that you are a prepper, you are now earmarked. Go to Google, type in prepper, hit news, and you'll see any bad person that has been referred to as a prepper, prepper slain by state police after standoff, prepper this, prepper that. There's a negative connotation with that. If you have told one person, now that is your scarlet letter to wear. So be it. Just be aware of that. You don't just want to blab that to anyone like I'm doing. Anyway, but personal decision that I made. So as you go and you meet other people that are preppers, and you get involved and do different activities, you need to be a bit wary, a bit careful, not so trusting on the outside. And you need to remember a few key things that some people don't seem to know. Okay, cutting down, sawing off a shotgun, or a rifle for that matter, under a legal length. I'm sorry I don't have that information just in front of me. Maybe someone can put it in the comments. But sawing down a weapon is illegal. And if you are dealing with anyone that is doing something like this, you are associated to them. That means a whole lot more than it meant before September 11th, 2001. If someone that you are associating with is converting semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic weapons, that is also illegal. And if you are associating with them, you will be guilt by association, basically. Explosives. Now, some states do allow you to use explosives for personal use. I don't know specific state rules, but as a rule, overall, if you are meeting someone that is talking a lot, that is experimenting, that is manufacturing any kind of explosives or incendiary devices, which could include something as simple as a Molotov cocktail, watch your back, because you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire there. Okay, guilt by association. Also, if there's a lot of fine lines between things. Militia, for example. A lot of people will talk about a militia and the militia movement, or we ought to have a militia. And there's a very fine line, because you'll hear other people talk about Minutemen. And a Minuteman type movement is something in my eyes and those people's eyes, it's a little bit different. But any talk of any of this, I strongly urge you to be cautious of how close you get to these people and how you associate with these people, because many militias, rightly, wrongly, I don't know, it's not for me to judge, are considered domestic terrorist organizations. So you want to even be careful with, when you start to hear this terminology, you just want to question a little bit. And that goes for any other type of associations that may glom onto the prepper movement. I've never liked the word prepper. I've always been interested in self-sufficiency and the type of, we called it survivalist, which I never liked that word either, back in the late 70s, early 80s. Prepper now, taking care of myself, providing for my loved ones, and being prepared for emergencies has always been important to me. I don't like the people that glom on to these words and turn it into a bad thing. Also, if people you're associating with, or yourself for that matter, are making violent threats through social media, guess what? You may get a visit from the Secret Service or otherwise, or find yourself on a no-fly list. Again, this is a fine line. Used to be quite common to say throw the bums out. Now you have to be very specific and say let's vote them out. Okay? Just because the way society has gone now, you need to be careful of these things. You also need to be, I cannot stress, you need to be careful with who you associate with. If some supporter of a terrorist group has ever dialed your number incorrectly, made a wrong number to you, guess what? You're going to appear on as a link to them. Now, since it was a one-time wrong number, it won't ever go anywhere. But you can see that you've already been linked. They follow the dots, and this enables them to catch bad guys. Last but not least, and I hate to even bring this up, but the way our political system is going is, it seems that if you, through social media, voice dissent too vigorously, that you run the risk of also being earmarked as maybe not a terrorist or something like that, but a potential problem. Bring to your attention, you can Google it. I forget the gentleman's name. This man in 2012 that was very vocal about the NDAA on his Facebook and YouTube, etc. He got on an airplane to go and visit his wife on Guam. He was from Mississippi. He got on an airplane from Mississippi to Hawaii, and he made it that far. Guam has a little bit more control on it because the majority of Guam is military installation. His wife was a lieutenant in the army or something like that, and he was going to visit her. Well, he got as far as Hawaii, and they told him, no, you're on the no-fly list. You can't go there. You can't go home. And he was stuck for some amount of time. I don't remember exactly. And they don't have to tell you why they put you on the no-fly list. I do not know if he had say, yeah, we need to do bad things to bad people in power because of this. I don't know if he did anything else. The way all the stories lay out about it is that he just voiced dissent and wound up on the no-fly list. He eventually got back home, but I can bet you money that he's never going to be flying again. So, is that the way it's supposed to be? No. If he was just straight up expressing dissent to policies, laws, procedures, politicians, no. This is supposed to be the land of the free and freedom of speech and all that. But you've got to use extreme caution with what you put out there. Anyway, don't find yourself afoul of a 3-letter agency or anything else. Really be careful. Choose who you associate with wisely. Stay safe.